Let me guess, you meant to send an email to your list last week and the week before and maybe the week before that, and here we are, nothing. But every time you sit down, it just is a blank page and a blinking cursor and no ideas come into your head. But what if I told you there was an easier way to do it? In fact, there is. I'm going to teach you this week how to train your AI to do the heavy lifting for you. It will write your emails that are warm and personal and relatable and engaging so that your audience can keep you, your practice, top of mind. So grab your coffee, grab a pen and paper, because I'm going to show you how to make your inbox literally magical. Welcome to the Clinical Entrepreneur Podcast. I'm Rhonda, your no fluff, tell it like it is business bestie for wellness practitioners just like you who want to build a practice you love and make a bigger impact and a little money while you're at it. So if you're ready to ditch the overwhelm, attract your dream, ideal patients, and finally run your practice with complete confidence, you're in the right place. Each week, we're tackling things from programs to patient retention to marketing strategies that actually work, sprinkled, of course, with a little sass, a lot of heart, and the step-by-step strategies that will help you get there. So grab your cup of coffee, your notebook, or whatever keeps you going, and let's build a practice you love and a life you love together. We're talking about AI and emails today. And if you have been one of those people that sits at a computer and just kind of stares at the blank screen, or you just avoid it altogether, which is kind of my MO, then this episode, you're going to love this. We're going to have a very, very simple, frank conversation about how to do this. And I want to say, in full transparency, this is actually part of one of the topics that we just covered inside Clinical Business Academy and our quarterly activator, which is kind of a deep dive on a topic. And we went deep into copywriting. But today, I'm just going to give you kind of some of the high points that we talked about in there, and it'll at least kind of get you started. So first of all, let's just talk about what is the truth about email. You know, we think sometimes email like, oh, what is an email? Or, why is an email important? Let me say that. And if you have an inbox, which you do, you know how many spammy, slimy emails that you get. I get them too. And I especially hate it when a company emails me every single day. Every single day, I have emails from them multiple times a day. It is the fastest way to get me to unsubscribe. There is no one that has time for that because our brains are so overwhelmed with information. We have so much data coming at us, and emails and images on social media and input from patients and all the things that it is just overwhelming. So emailing your audience, I'll say audience, but you got to understand what I mean here. I'm talking about your email list, right? Which is probably a list of patients, past patients, current patients, and maybe, I don't know if you have a free resource or something that you offer. It might be people that have never worked with you, but for some reason they've, landed on your email list. So that's what I'm talking about when I say audience, okay? So you're the people on your email list. But email is one of the most underutilized, in my opinion, resources that is an untapped resource inside our clinical practices. And it's the most powerful tool you have to build a really great business. And it's not because you're going to overwhelm somebody. Sending an email once a week is not going to make anyone tired. Think about your own inbox. You get an email once a week from someone. If you don't want to see it, you usually just hit delete. But it isn't something that's going to trigger me enough that I'm going to hit the unsubscribe button. That's pretty final. So sending an email out to your audience, to your email list, that just lets them know you're there. And the key point is here, we want to provide them with relevant contact. However, if it's up to you and me to write that, it's always a bit of a struggle. I consider myself a pretty good marketer, and I'm not too bad of a writer. Like, I'm not as good as a professional writer would be, but I can hold my own in writing an email. But I do know what it feels like to sit in front of the computer and stare at a blank piece of paper and think, I don't even know what to write. I don't know how to say it. I'm judging myself thinking, well, that's going to sound really stupid if I say that. And I don't know how to convey my sense of humor and my personality in my email. And so I get stuck with that. And then I try and edit as I go. There's all the things that happen. And then finally it just takes me too long. I'm 2 hours in and I think, forget it. I'm not even going to do this. But the good thing is that today what I'm going to show you is how you can use AI to do this. Now, before you click out and say, I tried it, it didn't work, I'm going to show you how it will work. If you will follow the steps I give you today, I promise you, promise you, it is going to change the way that you think about these emails. So these emails are important because, again, they just keep you in front of your audience. That's all. It's just a way for you to say, like, hey, I'm here and I have relevant information for you. If you are sending emails out and all you're doing is propping yourself up and saying, well, I just went to a conference and I learned this and you need to come and see me, I would unsubscribe from you too, my friend. Not because I don't think you're awesome, but because I don't care. I want you to help me. I want to know what's in it for me. What is the benefit that you're going to give me? And that's what an email can do. So emails still really, really work. They work incredibly well. So before we go any further, I just want to say, I'm really glad you're here and you are in the right place. And if you're not using AI for these emails, you're going to after today. I really promise. So let's dive in. I'm going to show you how to make this whole email creation process super easy. And one more thing I'll tell you, you've heard me talk about this before, but when I talk about an email, like you're sending a weekly email to your audience, it's called what I call a nurture email. So let's just talk about that for a hot minute. A nurture email is the email that you send that just nurtures them. What do you do when you plant a seedling into the ground? You nurture it, you water it, you check on it, you make sure that it's not getting too hot, too dry, the conditions are right, you're nurturing it. What happens? You nurture it, and pretty soon that little seedling starts to grow, and you have a little green thing that's popping up out of the soil, and you're like, oh, yay, it's coming to life. And you keep nurturing it, and loving it, and taking care of it, and watering it, and making sure that it's comfortable, and giving it the nutrients, the information that it needs in order to grow and sprout and become a full plant. And at some point, you're going to be able to eat the fruit from that, or the vegetable, the tomato, whatever it is. It's the same way with your audience. All you're doing is nurturing them. You're watering them. You're giving them information that's of value to them. They only care about what's important to them. They don't care about what's important to you. So we have to think about it through their eyes. What are they worried about? What do they want help with? And if you can provide that information, it's a win-win for everyone. You help them, you're nurturing their little seedling, right? You're helping them live a healthier lifestyle. Or maybe you work with women in their 40s that have hormone issues. You're helping them solve those hormonal issues. Or maybe you are more of you work with moms that have young children. So you might be giving them some parenting hacks or ways to feed picky eaters or something that's helping them be more successful in their life and with their health and the health of their family. That is a nurture email. All right. So you might sit at a blank computer screen and go, I don't even know what to write. But when we can train your AI will help you write that copy really well. So the most popular AI is ChatGPT, but there are a number of other ones. So you pick the one that you like. And I'm just going to refer to it as AI, but you pick the tool, the resource, whichever one you like. So let's talk now about how we're going to train your AI. So if it's ChatGPT, whatever it is, you cannot expect good output if you don't give it good input. So I'm going to ask you to spend about 30 minutes or so, and I'm going to give you 5 steps to help you train your AI. Are you ready? Okay, here we go. So step number 1 is you're going to tell your AI who you are. Very simple. You're just going to introduce yourself. Now, before you introduce yourself, I would encourage you to start a new chat. We'll use ChatGPT because everyone's pretty familiar with that one. You're going to start a new chat and it's going to say, please use the following information about me, about my practice, and about my patients and the results that I provide as a foundation for all future correspondence and requests. In other words, you're telling AI whatever you learn from me in this next bit of conversation. I'm going to give you the 5 steps. But you're telling it first. You're kind of saying, hey, listen, I'm putting you on notice. All of this information I'm about to tell you, I want you to store it in your memory. That's all you have to say. Just store this information in your memory and use it as a reference point when creating content when I tell you to use it. AI is pretty smart, so it's fine. That just say, store this information in your memory about me, my business, and my patients. There you go. So step number 1, you're going to tell AI who you are. So you can start really simply by saying, here's my name, here's what I do. I'm an acupuncturist, and here's my unique approach. I work with women that are blank blank, and you just tell them very kind of a general overview about you. And I would also add in there, tell AI what you believe about health. So if you believe that everyone should have a stool test, then put that in there. If you believe that everyone should have a saliva test, put that in there. If you believe everyone needs a liver detoxification, like whatever your core beliefs are, put that in there, because it's just going to help AI be able to give you out better output. So the first step is just tell AI about you. Who are you? The second thing you're going to do is you're going to describe your ideal patient. Now, again, I know some of you get all panty puckered about you don't want to niche down because you don't want to miss anyone. I get it. But listen, if we're going to talk to someone online, we can't talk to everyone. You have to have a condition or a symptom or a problem that you're talking about. So in this example, let's just say women in their 40s that are dealing with hormones and they want to age gracefully, because that's about when women start to think about aging, is in their 40s, when they start kind of seeing those signs of aging, right? So you would say, I work with women in their 40s. They struggle with maybe low libido. They struggle with, they're starting to get some hot flashes. Their cycles are starting to change. Many of them have teenage children, or their children are like entering high school. And so there's a lot of transition. Parenting becomes difficult at this phase of their life. They might be a little frustrated in their marriage. They might be kind of growing apart. They've got money, you know, they're comfortable, and the wife is a stay-at-home mom. The husband travels a lot. Do you see how I'm just like telling a story? It doesn't have to be complete sentences, just comma, comma, comma. And my ideal person does this. She likes these things. She, you know, she's a yoga mom. She loves yoga. She loves to cook healthy meals, but she's definitely not on board for like exotic things. She wants like a 5 ingredients or less meals. Whatever you can tell AI about your ideal patient, do that. And also add in, I always say, what are the things that keep them up at night, right? What are the things that they worry about? They're thinking, I always say, what if it's cancer? You know, people worry about that in their health. They'll say, well, what if there's something really wrong? What if there's something wrong I don't know? So put all of that in there about the person that you want to talk to. Who are you writing these emails for? Think about it like that. Your emails can't be for everyone, because if they're for everyone, then the people, no one's going to read them because they're going to be too generic. Here's your healthy tip for the day. Whatever. Used to be that worked. It doesn't work now because people have options. So you just have to be specific. And listen, if you don't like what you train your AI with, you can just train it later to say something else. Scratch that about my ideal patient. I have a different ideal patient. I'm going to describe that ideal patient now. And you can totally do that. So this is not locking you into a box. Step number 3. I kind of love this because I have a bit of a sassy personality, if you didn't know that already. You're going to describe your personality. Are you boring and dry and monotone and you have no fun in your life? No, that's not you. You're going to say, listen, I would say I'm bold, I'm sassy, I'm kind of edgy, I'm very direct, but I'm kind and I love people. And so you're going to describe your personality. Are you introverted or extroverted, or are you an ambivert, which is a little bit of both? Do you use humor a lot? Like for me, I always use word pictures. That's just how my brain works. I think of word pictures like I was just talking about the little sprout in the soil. Situations or circumstances show up in my brain that way. So I would tell Chatty that. Do you love to just like shoot straight and you don't take any bull from anybody? Say it. Are you a little woo-woo, kind of like butterfly-ish, you know, everything is kind of zen and energy and you love all that? Fine, give it all. Tell Chatty all of it. Oh, and by the way, that's what I call ChatGPT Chatty, because Chatty is chatty. Number 4, step 4, you're going to share your process or your methodology. So again, if you've been hanging around with me for any amount of time, you know that upper digestion is always a starting point for me. And I recently taught a female hormone seminar, and I was saying that as it has to do with female hormones, liver and stress, addressing stress with adaptogens or stress response type, helping them with the stress response is really important for that. But at the end of the day, it is a hill I'll die on, is that upper digestion is absolutely critical to address with every patient. So that's what I would say. I would say, here's what's very important to me. And in order to do that, I often will recommend digestive bitters. But I also love herbs like ginseng and wormwood. Those are bitter herbs. I like ginger to help upregulate the digestion. These are some of my favorite supplements. I'll tell chat that. This is how I do it. I like to use food-based supplements or real quality herbal-based supplements. I like to work with patients, during these particular hours. First I see them, it's a 2-hour appointment, new patient appointment, and then it's a 30-minute appointment every month after that. I might have programs. I might have a 6-week anxiety reset. You've heard me talk about that before, but you get the idea. How is it that I do what I do? What is my process? What is my methodology? What's kind of my philosophy? Oh, also you could add, what are like the milestones that you can expect them to reach? After the first 4 weeks, most people experience XYZ. After the next 4 weeks, most of my patients experience XYZ. I'm just giving you ideas, but I want you to talk to ChatGPT or whatever AI you use, just like if you were talking to me. If we were sitting down over coffee and I was interviewing you and just said, hey, tell me a little bit about what you do. Blah, 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 blah. You're going to go on and on and on. I want to hear. And ChatGPT wants to hear as well. And then step 5 is to share some wins. Share some success stories. What are some wins that your patients have had? So just share those. Like I had a lady come in and she had X condition and we started to work together. She wasn't really sure that this was going to work. She was a little bit hesitant. Literally, this is how you're going to talk to ChatGPT or whoever. And you say she was a little bit hesitant, but she really wanted to get better. So this is what we did when we started. We started out doing upper digestion. Then we did a liver detox. We put her on some stress support. I gave her some chase tree. And after 4 weeks, she was sleeping better. She this, she that. You just list it all out. And by the time we were done in 3 months, she basically had her life back. Okay, write that out for Chatty. And then you're going to give another one. At least 2, 3 is better. And make them different, like different wins, different success stories. And then it's okay if this takes a little while. You don't have to think of maybe a specific patient. You can actually just think of what the typical experience is for your patients, especially the ones that are dealing with the same condition. Like, don't talk about women in their 40s with hormone and, life transition issues, and then give success stories about people that have parasites and mold. Like, come on now, it's got to all connect together. So once you have those 5 things, then you're going to say, save this information about me, my business, and the people that I work with. That's it. Now, what you'll see in ChatGPT anyway, it will say memory updated. And that's it. It's there. It's there. That you just did it. You did it. Hey, super quick, let's talk for a minute about that email list of yours. Listen, the one that is already full of patients who know you, like you, and trust you. They've already worked with you once. We need to get them on your schedule. If you're feeling like you don't have enough people on your schedule and you need to fill in those holes, you don't need a marketing strategy. What you need is to be sending out these weekly emails. And I would love to help you dive a lot deeper into how to reactivate those patients, get them back into your practice. And that's what we can do for you inside Clinical Business Academy. You hear me talk about it every week, my friend. And that's because it literally will change your life. I promise you that. Just get on a call with me. We can talk about it and we'll find out if it's a good fit for you for where you're at in your business or not. Go to rondanelson.com/CBA. I'll see you there. Now, one more little hack that you can use. Some of you may not have time to sit down and do this all at once, and that's totally okay. So what you'll do is you might have 15 minutes and you say, okay, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to type it out about me. Just the first step 1. I'm going to just tell Chatty all about me. And you might be done and just not have any more time. That's okay. Then you just tell, when you're all done typing that out, say, please save this. I'm going to be adding more to it in this same chat. in a few days. And it will say, thanks for letting me know. I've got it memorized. Let me know when you're ready for the next information, and I'll be sure and add it. It'll tell you that. And then you come back to it a couple days later. If you don't have time that one day, then you come back and you might get step 2 and 3 done. But remember, this is just a conversation. That's all you're doing is having a conversation with Chatty. That's all, right? That's it. So when you're done and it's all memoried, now it says memory updated. Now we get to the good part. So now what you're going to do is you're just going to say it. The first action is I would go to a different chat. Okay. I would open up a different chat. You know, the little square with the little, looks like a little pencil. You're going to start a little new conversation. You're going to say, using the information that I provided you, I want you to give me a list of 25 email topics that are relevant and maybe seasonal. Maybe you could say they have to do with, that pertain to women in their 40s and challenges that they face during this period of their life. Just ask it to do that. Now, and say, reference the information that I gave you about me and my practice and my ideal patients. Now, provide me a list of 25 possible topics that I can create emails from. I'm telling you, you will be shocked at what you get back. Shocked, completely shocked. You won't even know what happened. They'll come back and they will be so good because you took the time to give your AI information about you, about your practice, about your hours, about the things that are important to you, about the people that you serve and what's important to them and what they're afraid of and what your methodology is and some of the wins. Now AI has all this content, and I should say context about you, and the output's going to be flippin' amazing. So now you get this list of 25, and you know, there might be 5 in there, 8 in there that you don't like. Fine, that's fine. Then you pick the ones that you do like. And I would say, you know, for the purposes of this podcast, I'm encouraging you to get a month's worth of emails done. So if you want to send them every Tuesday morning, and if there's 4 Tuesdays, then you're going to need 4 emails. If there's 5 Tuesdays, you're going to need 5 emails. So pick the topics that you want, start with 1, and just say, I like the topics number 4, 8, 9, 11, and 12. Okay, fine. Those are the ones that you like. And then say, I want you to start with the topic number 4. And then you give it a command and you say, please write a 300-word email about this number 4 topic using the correct tone and using the information that I've provided for you about myself, my practice, and my patients, or something along that line. And, you know, include a hook. Hooks are really important. A hook is your subject line. Include a hook and a call to action. It's really simple. And then it's going to go, oh, no problem. I like this topic. It'll be real personal with you. I like this topic. Here's a great email for your patients that I'm sure they're going to love. And then you read through the email, and it might be 90% great, and it might be 100% great, or it might be only 70% great. But either way, you're going to read through it, and AI is never going to get it 100%, but it's going to get very close. So you read through that email, and then you might want to give it a little feedback and say, it's a little too stiff. Can you make it more conversational and add some humor? Oh, no problem. And it'll redo it and make it more conversational and have more humor. And then it might feel like it's a little too long. So you might say, could you shorten it to 250 words and keep the same humor and tone, style, etc., and it'll shorten it for you. And then you might say, you know, it just needs a little bit more warmth. And could you make it sound a little more confident, like empowering? Okay, great. And then Chatty will give it right back to you. Pretty soon, you're going to have an email that's very close to sounding just like you because you took the time to train your AI. It's so easy. So then you're going to I always say, read the email out loud. Make sure that it doesn't catch in your throat. You know, you're reading it. It should read like it should have a sing-songy to it. Like it should read very easily. And then you're going to have your email. You're going to tweak it a little bit. You might want to add a different closing or change a little word here or there. And that's all right. There's a little button in there with ChatGPT that you click that'll copy all of it. And then I recommend pasting that into a Google Doc. The reason I don't like to use Word is Word always adds a lot of extra formatting. You'll get lines and spaces and hard returns, and it's funky. Google Docs don't get that. So you can use Word if you want to, but I like to add them to a Google Doc. And then once they're in the Google Doc, then I'm good to go. I have my hook as a subject line. I have my whole email. I save it in a Google Doc, and then I'm going to schedule it. I'm going to put it in my software, and out it goes. That's it. It's just so easy. And then you go back and you repeat the process for the next topic. I just made it sound a lot longer than it is, but the response with the AI is so fast. Literally, once you have your topic, when you say, please write the email for me, you'll get the prompt down. It's okay. You might bump around a little bit in the beginning, but when you train it first, the output that you'll get is so much more aligned to who you are, what the type of practice that you have. And that allows you then to create emails and send that email, that nurture email, every single week to your patients, to your audience. They want to hear from you. They're on your list for a reason. Because there's something about you that they like and love. They want to know, what do you have to say about methylene blue? What do you have to say about GLPs? What do you have to say about high cholesterol? What do you have to say about PPIs, long-term use of PPIs? What do you have to say about fill in the blank? Those are things that people want to know. They want to know your opinion. And then they can choose just whether they agree with that or don't agree with it. But you have to put yourself out there and just say what you think is true for you. So once you have that AI trained, the process of creating these emails becomes so easy. And when you finish your first 5 and get them in your like MailChimp or Constant Contact or Active Campaign, whatever you've got, but that's your email software. Okay. If you don't have email software, I would recommend MailChimp to start. The price point is really easy. You can do it very easily. It's not expensive and it's pretty easy to use. So if you don't have an email software, use that one. It's a good one. So when you get them all scheduled, then go back and make yourself a task and go back and create the next 5. There's one of the members in Clinical Business Academy, her first year in, I said, you need to write an email every week. And she literally, that was the only thing that she focused on, was writing those 52 emails. And she wrote all 52 of them. And at the end of the first year, she was so proud and her patients loved them. And they always would come in and say, I love your emails. And they'll say that about yours too. Because when you get those 52 written, guess what? You can recycle them. No one remembers what they got a year ago from you. You can recycle some of them. You can look and see which ones had better open rates, which ones performed better, what patients really loved. You want to adjust them a little bit, but you've got 52 emails. So just batch them 5 at a time and just stay ahead of the game. Don't wait, because it's important that you be really, really consistent. So all you have to do is show up, but do the work. Train your AI and then show up, because when you show up and you are authentically you and you're sharing your message, you're letting AI take all that work off of your plate. Think about how much time it would take for you to write all those emails. No way. Thank you very much. I'm out. But now that you've got AI, you can focus on other things like seeing a few more patients or knowing that email is going out. I'll tell you, if you haven't been sending emails, I can pretty much promise you that you're going to reactivate some old patients. They're going to get an email from you and go, oh, Dr. Nelson, you're still around. It's so good to hear from you. Can I make an appointment? I've got some health things going on. I really need some help. I'm telling you, it'll happen. So if you want a few more people on your schedule, send out some emails. That's it. So now, this is the topic. It's the first week of the month. And this month, obviously, we're focusing on AI and emails. And as I've done in months 1, 2, 3, and 4, this is month 5, I've got 2 resources for you. So you're going to want to go to the show notes to be able to get those resources. But I have 2 resources for you. It's how to train your AI to write patient emails that sound just like you. So that resource is going to give you more of the fill in the blank prompts. So you're going to actually get the words that you'll use to copy and paste in your AI about how to train it, how to talk to it, and then you'll get the weekly planner. So a weekly planner will help you, email planner. It'll help you just stay a little bit more organized with your whole process. So all you have to do to get it is you're going to go to rondanelson.com/12-month growth plan. And when you get there, you're going to download the main guide. That link is at the top. And then you'll see month number 5, and which is where we are. And you can go get months 1, 2, 3, and 4 if you want to, but month number 5, and you'll get these resources. They are free for you. All you have to do is just go there, grab them, and then start getting your AI trained. I know you can do this. I'm going to be so excited to hear how you are now communicating with your patients using emails that you never had to even write. So that's it for this week. Take care, my friend. I know that was a lot. I get it. But listen, if you've ever thought, I don't have time to write emails and I don't know what to write, remember AI is your new secret weapon. So all you have to do is train it once and you will be amazed at how much it can do. And I just made it a little easier for you. Don't forget to go grab those 2 resources. They are going to make this process so much easier for you. Go to rondanelson.com/12-month growth plan and you'll see month 5. Click there and you'll be able to go grab those. There's one on how to train your AI, and then there's also an email planner that'll just help you kind of keep track of the emails that you sent, the topics, etc., so you don't repeat yourself. So I'm trying to make it super easy for you. I think you're going to love those resources, so grab them now. Thanks for listening. I so appreciate you.